Welcome to your Daily Writing Habit, episode number 433. If you are writing a book or thinking about it or trying to finish a book you've started or trying to get the word out about your book to your readers, you are in the right place. Good morning. Happy Writer Wednesday. I'm your host, Christine Whitmarsh, also known as Christine Inc. Each day I'm sharing with you the writing habits I've learned over my 18 years as a ghostwriter, book coach, and author. I have found that 3 things in particular have a huge impact on your success as an author, and they can turn someone who doesn't even really see themselves as a writer into a published book author. Those 3 things are writing fundamentals, productivity, and mindset habits. Here's today's quote. I had no idea that history was being made. I was just tired of giving up. Rosa Parks. And once again, good morning, happy Writer Wednesday, and welcome to my continuing Writer Wednesday series, where each week I give you some of the highlights of my process of developing and writing books. And I do it in the most actionable way I can possibly think of. So every Wednesday, I reveal one piece of my book development and writing process, and I deliver it to you via 3, whether questions or exercises, activities, action tips, something that you can use in your own writing. Today's topic is getting the most productive possible feedback about your work. Now, this can be trickier than it may seem, so here are my 3 tips to get the most useful feedback for your manuscript in progress. So many words on Writer Wednesday. So 3 tips for getting the most useful feedback on your manuscript in progress. Number 1. The name of the game with getting productive feedback that you can use to make your book better is specificity and asking for what you want. This means that when you send your manuscript out to well-meaning friends or family members or colleagues, do not simply send it to them and ask, "What do you think?" Because I can almost guarantee that if you do that, 99.99999% of the time, you'll get back a laundry list of typos and notes about misplaced commas, because people don't know. People don't know what you want unless you're specific. So when for some reason, when it comes to books, if you ask people, what they think, they just assume that you are asking them to proofread your book for you. That's just human psychology, I guess. So my advice is never send any sort of creative work out without specific questions that you want answered, or else, again, people will proofread it, which I can almost guarantee is not what you're looking for, especially if you have a manuscript in progress and you're not at the proofreading stage. And besides, at the end, that's why you hire a professional editor and proofreader, not Aunt Sue or, Bob from accounting at work. So some examples of productive questions. They might involve concerns you have about your manuscript. So productive questions that you can ask others. For example, do you feel like this character, so-and-so, is well developed enough? Or if it's a nonfiction book, you might ask, do you feel like you're learning anything from my book? And what do you think the message is? So don't tell them what, the message and the learning, the lessons are supposed to be. Ask them what they think it is so that you can see if your lessons are coming through. Really, use those questions, those feedback questions, to address any of your major concerns about your manuscript. Make sure the questions you pose to your kind of informal feedback crew reflect your greatest concerns about your manuscript. Tip number 2. Don't take feedback personally. That's an obvious one. Also, don't ask too many people and don't make every little change that every person says. If you ask too many people, you're going to go in 150 different directions. I like to make sure, when I'm sending out my manuscripts in progress for feedback, I have a specific reason I'm sending to each person, whether they have an area of expertise or they have some sort of strength or skill set that I feel like I need at that point in my manuscript. Have a reason. Don't just ask because you're like really close to the person and you think they're cool. And also, don't feel like you have to make every little change that every single person says. Look for patterns. That's much more productive. Again, you'll be going in 150 directions if you don't do this. And when in doubt, if your feedback is all over the place and there are no patterns and there's no rhyme or reason, consider consulting with a book coach or a developmental editor to get a more accurate professional analysis. There's, folks like me out there where you don't have to hire us to do anything fancy. We'll just do something called an editorial analysis. I know that's a service I do, where I'll just read someone's manuscript in progress and I'll give them very, very detailed notes about, addressing their concerns, going line by line about, potential problem areas. So that's not, kind of like going all in with a book coach. You can just hire folks like me for an editorial analysis just to get that kind of 50,000 foot opinion. So again, that's just my advice, especially if you're, getting all this feedback from all these people and you're not really getting anywhere with that feedback. It might be time to consult with a professional. And tip number 3, kind of a admin logistical tip. Before sending out your work to anyone, no matter how much you trust them, I highly recommend registering it. So, obviously with the U.S. Copyright Office, that can take some time. That can take several months, even longer, depending on their backlog. So my trick that I like to use is the Writers Guild website. So WGA.org. Scroll down to the bottom right corner of the page and you will see a little box that says register your work. It's not just screenplays, it's for books, it's for any creative work. I mean, I think it's for, audio recordings and movies and any kind of creative work. And you upload it for $20, you get an instant certification registration certificate saying that it's yours. So I highly recommend protecting your work before you start sending it out. WGA, for Writers Guild of America.org, bottom right corner, register your work. And that wraps up another Writer Wednesday here on Your Daily Writing Habit. And if you haven't done so already, I would love for you to go to my memoir website. My memoir, Power of the Curve, is coming out this Saturday. And I have a free chapter for download on the website right now, powerofthecurve.com. And stay tuned for more details about all the things that'll be happening this Saturday, but powerofthecurve.com between now and then. Thank you for joining me here on Your Daily Writing Habit, where I am helping you write and finish writing an awesome book. Appreciate you being here. Thank you. Until tomorrow, happy writing.